Good morning, Magic family. Welcome back to the Magic Life. I am Diedrich, Magic Mom, and I just want to welcome those of you who are new and those of you who are returning. I appreciate you beyond measure. Okay, so we're going to start with the fun stuff first, and we'll pull some active cards, and then we are going to dive into lesson 2 in the A Course in Miracles book. Good morning, Kirsten and Angelfish. It's good to see you. All right, so I don't know about you guys, but this post-eclipse energy is kind of bonkers. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with the cards today. And excuse the boy getting the leash for the dog. Will you keep him in your room?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to pull one of each from the Affirmators decks. So there will be a love card, a general card, and a family card, and those will be kind of our cornerstones of the day. I'm going to pull a Soul Truth card so you guys can continue on with your journaling, those of you who have been doing it. And then I'll probably pull a soul coaching card for an affirmation, and then we'll close out after we do our lesson in A Course in Miracles today with the Universe Has Your Back deck, just as a quick overview of what we're doing. Good morning, Derek. Boy, everybody's showing up today. All right, so we'll start with our general card. Oh, still is all sneezy. All right. Here's our general card. We'll start with the Affirmators. I'm just going to pull all 3 of them before I get started. Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. All right. There's our love card. Oh. Also, if you are looking to get personal cards, you're going to need to book a reading either through the Facebook page, or you can get a hold of me the normal email channels too, and I can walk you through it as well. Right now we're doing a $5.55 special for text readings or sessions, and then it's $44 for a 1-hour video chat session with me. And if you are part of the Living a Magic Life Facebook page, there are 2 offers running there right now too as well. There's one for returning clients. Those of you who've already booked readings with me in the past are getting, I think it was 33% off your first session coming back, and then new people were getting 22% off. Just FYI. All right. Now that I'm through all of that, I always hate the marketing part of this. Let's get our Affirmators cards, all right? So our general for today is going to be the Wonder card. I love this card. Okay. So the Wonder card reminds us that it's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder. And when we're a good audience to our life becomes better and better theater. When something delightful happens, we can shout encore and be tickled pink when it happens again. And when something maddening happens, we can laugh it off. Either way, we're glad we got tickets to the show. Right? All right, our family card is reliability, right? I love this card, especially when we're discussing things having to do with our family. And that could be your blood family or the family that you have collected, like we have all collected here, Magic Family. So remember that you are the model of perfect reliability. Well, as close to perfect as perfectly fallible humans can get anyway. And when we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. And that means our family members can trust us and believe in us. And you know what? It's nice to be believed in, even when that belief extends only to picking up stray socks and making beds, which is what I feel like most of my life revolves around right now, but I wouldn't change it any other way. All right. And our love card, we get a bonus with honesty. So I'm going to just pull the one off the top, and it will be the clarifier. And we get my best self. Ooh, love notes from the universe today. So we'll start with the honesty card. This heralds a wonderful time of rooting ourselves in complete and total honesty. And it might seem scary to tell the truth all the time with everyone about everything. But when you practice radical honesty, you can stop hiding and start relaxing. The best part is honesty from you inspires honesty from others. What results is a root and toot and trust parade, and everyone's invited, except the bagpipe players, but you know they'll show up anyway. Right? What are you doing, Stella? My dog is so weird. And the My Best Self card, which I happen to little synchronicities here this morning. We're going to trust that when we're doing what's best for us and being the happiest version of ourselves, the right sort of relationships will appear in our life. And that means we can let go of all of our worries about the future, knowing that our only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. Ooh, that was a mouthful. All right, so our message from the affirmators is really great today. We want to maintain a sense of wonder, also amplify our states of reliability, not only to other people, but to ourselves as well, which means being completely and brutally honest as nicely as possible, right? And in that way, we can be our best selves. I think it's a pretty great message. All right, so let's get our soul coaching card from Denise Lynn and get our affirmation for today. If I don't knock all of my cards on the floor. Ooh, and we have a stowaway from the Wild Unknown with the Two of Wands. And I don't know about you guys, but doesn't this look like a set of stairs? So remember that everything is a process, okay? That reminder is also coming through too as well. Oh my gosh, right, Kirsten? That is one of my biggest routines is I make sure I make my bed every single damn day. Because if I don't do it, it seems like nothing else gets done either. It's like a visual reminder of my sense of accomplishment every time I walk by it. And I don't know, I've been doing that for probably 3 or 4 years now, and it does marvelous things for my productivity. Also, if I tell myself that I'm going to do it later, I make myself do it right then because it means I'm procrastinating, and that is like my biggest weakness, really. I like to procrastinate about everything because I would much rather be reading something or gardening or something else rather than doing the productive things that need to be done every day so that I don't lose my sanity in the chaos. Now, let me go fetch these cards that I just threw on the floor. All right. I'm pretty sure it was only 2. So this old coaching deck is giving us 2 messages today. Acceptance. Aren't we just kind of talking about that? Honestly, my biggest weaknesses are the things that I have to accept about myself the most and just learn to work around. So I don't know if any of you have to do the same thing, but I'm sure you do. We're all human. Right? Well, I've kind of gotten around my OCD a little bit, although it's still wicked bad. But I would literally spend the entirety of my existence cleaning up after everyone else if I didn't make myself stop at some point. And so I've just learned how to do everything really, really fast. And part of that just has to do with what the majority of my jobs have been house cleaning positions and or vacation rentals or things like that, hotels. And you just learn to do things super efficiently. And if you keep up on it, it's not a huge deal. It takes like 3 seconds to wipe everything down. And, sometimes you have to kind of be a jerk and tell people to put their shit away. Oh, you're young yet, Sarah. Wait till you get into your 40s and you're the grandmother of 2. You will very much enjoy things like naps again and sitting there reading a book and doing nothing else. Which brings us to our second card. Gratitude. Be grateful for those little moments that you're able to grant yourself now. Okay, so acceptance reminds us that we unconditionally accept, cherish, and love ourselves just as we are. And the gratitude card reminds us that this is a glorious time to be alive, and we are so grateful. Right? All right. So remember, if you guys want personal cards, you can hit me up with a small donation. No, there is no limit on how small that donation can be. I will either send you a card via email, or if you give me a different way of contacting you, I will send it that way too as well. And now let's get our cards from the universe has your back. And that will kind of segue into our journey into A Course in Miracles, which is basically what the Universe Has My Back book was based on. And also what most of the Conversations with God series was about too. And we dove real deep into both of those. I know we read probably almost all of Neil Donald Walsh's books together, and I'm still kicking myself for deleting those when I didn't have to. It was just telling me that I wouldn't be able to be monetized on them, but I thought I had to take them down. So there was like 1,000 of my videos. Or no, I'm sorry, not 1,000. I had over 1,000 videos after that. I had to delete like 150 videos. All right, we're going to get 3 out of here. I love you guys too. All right, our first one is the biggest reminder of all. We are spirits having a human experience, and we're here to get closer to love. Love of each other, love of ourselves, love of the reality around us, right? This is what we are really trying to create as creator beings. All right. The next one. Our faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. I can guarantee every single one of us has some sort of trauma story that we're trying not to keep reliving. And instead, we've taken our power back and decided to turn the tables on that trauma, not to continue it, through us or our future generations. In some way, we have all broken our familial cycles, right? And we've done that through the faith that we really are worth it. We really are loved. We really are seen. And every one of us is a messenger of some kind. And it looks like we're going to get 4 because these both just popped out. Because our fearless freedom lights up the world. Does it not? By living our truth out loud and as bright as possible, we're showing other people that they can do it too. And remember, any sort of attack, pain, fear, judgment, or any form of separation is merely a call for help, right? Especially when it's coming from your own soul. So make sure you are tuning in and listening to what your body is telling you. Remember, we started talking about that earlier, or I should say late last week, early this week, about listening to what it is that our bodies are telling us, because very often it's going to point us in the direction of where we should be going, looking, or doing, right? That is what we try to provide here, right? All right, my friends. This is the time for those of you who are not interested in continuing my deep dive into A Course in Miracles. I love you beyond measure. Have a fantastic day. And I am time-stamping these live streams now, just like I used to do. So the collective message will always be at the very beginning, and then I will timestamp when we start in with the book. So we're going to read chapter 2 today, or section 2 of the beginning, I guess it would be, and lesson 2 out of the workbook 2 as well, which I have the entire collection, including the manual for teachers, which is something that I've already read thoroughly. Actually, I've read a lot of this book already, but that's kind of why I was being pulled to share it with all of you too as well, because I know a lot of you went through the Conversations with God series with me, and the Gabrielle Bernstein book, Universe Has Your Back, and those are both based a lot on this particular book. So, why not go back to their source, right? Have a good day, Derek. May whatever you're doing turn out eminently fantastic. All right. So this is the more boring section, but maybe you'll find something enlightening in it like I have. All right. So yesterday we ran through the list of 50 different variations of miracles, I guess is what they were called. It's the principles of miracles. Essentially, they're, I don't want to say rules because they're not really rules, but truths as stated in this book. I use the term truth loosely. So this second section in the meaning of miracles, which is what this chapter is called, is revelation, time, and miracles. So some of this may be kind of confusing. I'm going to try not to read too fast. It's a kind of a bad habit. So if I'm going too fast for you, just, hit me up in the chat and tell me to slow down. All right. So section 2 of chapter 1 says, revelation induces complete but temporary suspension of doubt and fear. It reflects the original form of communication between God and his creations. Insert whatever choice of words you would like for God and his. I feel that is a personal thing. But this is the ones they use in this book, so bear with me. Involving the extremely personal sense of creation, sometimes sought in physical relationships. Physical closeness cannot achieve it. Miracles, however, are genuinely interpersonal and result in true closeness to others. Revelation unites you directly with God. Miracles unite you directly with your brother. Neither emanates from consciousness, but both are experienced there. Consciousness is the state that induces action, though it does not inspire it. You are free to believe what you choose, and what you do attests to what you believe. Revelation is intensely personal and cannot be meaningfully translated, and that is why any attempt to describe it in words is impossible. Revelation induces only experience. Miracles, on the other hand, induce action. They are more useful now because of their interpersonal nature. In this phase of learning, working miracles is important because freedom from fear cannot be thrust upon you. Revelation is literally unspeakable because it is an experience of unspeakable love. Awe should be reserved for revelation, to which it is perfectly and correctly applicable. It is not appropriate for miracles because a state of awe is worshipful, implying that one of a lesser order stands before his creator. You are a perfect creation and should experience awe only in the presence of the creator of perfection. The miracle is therefore a sign of love among equals. Equals should not be in awe of one another because awe implies inequality. It is therefore an inappropriate reaction to me. An elder brother is entitled to respect for his greater experience and obedience for his greater wisdom. He is also entitled to love because he is a brother, and to devotion if he is devoted. It is only my devotion that entitles me to yours. There is nothing about me that you cannot attain. I have nothing that does not come from God. The difference between us now is that I have nothing else, and this leaves me in a state which is only potential in you. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Does not mean that I am in any way separate or different from you except in time, and time does not really exist. The statement is more meaningful in terms of a vertical rather than a horizontal axis. You stand below me, and I stand below God. In the process of rising up, I am higher because without me, the distance between God and man would be too great for you to encompass. I bridge the distance as an elder brother to you on the one hand, and as the Son of God on the other. My devotion to my brothers has placed me in charge of the sonship, which I render complete because I share it. And this may appear to contradict the statement, I and my Father are one, but there are two parts to the statement in recognition that the Father is greater. Revelations are indirectly inspired by me because I am close to the Holy Spirit and alert to the revelation readiness of my brothers. I can thus bring down to them more than they can draw down to themselves. The Holy Spirit mediates higher to lower communication, keeping the direct channel from God to you open for revelation. And revelation is not reciprocal. It proceeds from God to you, but not from you to God. The miracle minimizes the need for time. In the longitudinal or horizontal plane, the recognition of the equality of the members of the sonship appears to involve almost endless time. However, the miracle entails a sudden shift from horizontal to vertical perception. This introduces an interval from which the giver and receiver both emerge farther along in time than they would otherwise have been. The miracle thus has the unique property of abolishing time to the extent that it renders the interval of time it spans unnecessarily. There is no relationship between the time a miracle takes and the time it covers. The miracle substitutes for learning that might have taken thousands of years. It does so by the underlying recognition of perfect equality of giver and receiver on which the miracle rests. The miracle shortens time by collapsing it, thus eliminating certain intervals within it. It does this, however, within the larger temporal sequence. Right? Now, The next section of this is Atonement and Miracles. And we will get to that one tomorrow because I don't want your guys' head to explode from reading this. Or I should say listening to it. And mine will explode if I continue to read it. But we are going to dive into what the lesson for today was. And then I will pull a Soul Truth card too as well to go with that. Today's lesson is really easy. Yesterday, remember, it was just identifying the objects in the room that don't have meaning, right? That chair has no meaning. That picture has no meaning. That window has no meaning. That floor has no meaning. And as you repeat these things over and over, you start to let go of the concept that objects have more emotional meaning sometimes than other things, your spiritual aspects, right? So today the header says, I have given everything I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, all the meaning that it has for me, right? And if you'll remember back to when we were reading Conversations with God and that series, and Neil was discussing different things that he's done, or if you've seen interviews with him through like Mind Valley or through other things connected with The Secret or all of those guys, you'll remember that this is one of the exercises that he made sure that he was doing every day. And, these people were wildly successful with their things. So, maybe there's something to be said for their processes, right? These exercises take literally 30 seconds, or should say about a minute a piece. And so I think everybody can kind of take a minute and just look around the room and, be like, that has no meaning, that has no meaning, that has no meaning, blah, blah, blah. It says the exercises with this idea are the same as those for the first one. So you're going to begin with things that are near you and apply the idea to whatever your glance rests on, okay? And then you're going to increase the range outward. You're going to turn your head so that you include whatever's on either side. You're also, if possible, going to turn around and apply the idea to what was behind you too as well. So you're going to remain as indiscriminate as possible in selecting objects for its application. Do not concentrate on anything in particular, and do not attempt to include everything you see in a given area, or you will introduce strain, okay? Merely glance easily and fairly quickly around you, trying to avoid selection by size, brightness, color, material, or relative importance to you. Take the subjects simply as you see them and try to apply the exercise with equal ease to a body or a button, a fly or the floor, an arm or an apple, right? The sole criterion for applying the idea to anything is merely that your eyes have lighted on it. So make no attempt to include anything particular, but be sure that nothing is specifically excluded, okay? So you're just going to look at things today and say, I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me, right? So I've given that button the meaning that it has to me. I've given these tarot cards the meaning that it has to me. I give this book the meaning that it has to me. I give the floor or in the walls and the windows all the meaning that it has for me, okay? And nothing is going to be out of bounds as far as that goes, and nothing's going to be off limits, okay? So, and that's it for lesson 2. Super easy, right? And now let's get our Soul Truth cards. We'll close this out for today. Thank you to those of you who have stayed on. I love you beyond measure. All right. It's this one. This is a good one. This is one of my favorites. We haven't had this one in quite a while. So if you had a magic wand and could have anything you desired in life, what would you choose? Right? And this card is asking you to burn with desire because there is power in your desires. Let them be your fuel today because your desires are your soul's wings and it's time to take flight. Your soul action today says to go inward because your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. Right on. All right, so quick, easy, and painless for today. Thank you for sticking around. Remember, I love you beyond measure. And until next time, may favor follow you wherever you go. Don't forget about all the announcements I made in the middle of this video. Also, I'll probably do this 11 o'clock time instead of the 10 o'clock time. It seems like a little bit more people have a little bit more free time around now. I'm still trying to get through this whole time change from Pacific to Central time, even though we've been here almost 2 years. So it is what it is, right? So I'll see you tomorrow when we dive into section 3 and lesson 3 in A Course in Miracles. And we'll get our collective message as well. Don't forget to hit me up if you want personal readings, and be good. I'll see you tomorrow.